Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Patty Center here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks campus. Game number 2 of our Thursday evening doubleheader. This one featuring the Alaska GNAC men's basketball team taking on Simon Fraser, taking on the Red Leafs here. We'll take a look at the GNAC standings. Let's see, Northwest Nazarene, St. Martin's, and Central Washington all tied for first, all with 7-2 marks. And then you've got Alaska, 9-9 overall, and a 5-4 mark in conference play. Seattle Pacific with a 5-4 mark as well. Simon Fraser coming in 6-13 and 2-7 overall. The Nanuks beat Simon Fraser back on January 4th by 76-74. And I mentioned it earlier, the Simon Fraser team was on my plane last night back from Seattle, and talked to a couple of the players, and definitely wanting to come to Alaska for a little revenge match here as the Nanuks steal one at home against them to start the 2025 portion of the season. So a big GNAC matchup right here between your Alaska Nanuks and Simon Fraser. So we're going to send it down to our public address announcer.
For tonight's game, featuring the Simon Fraser Red Leafs and your Alaska Nanuks. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you all please rise if you are able. Remove your caps, and we will be honoring both Canada and the United States with the playing of O Canada, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner. for tonight's game. First, for the visiting team, Simon Fraser, University. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from North Vancouver, British Columbia, number 2, Tate Christensen. At guard, a 6'1" sophomore from Vancouver, British Columbia, number 3, Irish Tokyo. At guard, a 6'4" junior from Montreal, Quebec, number 5, Lynn DuPont. At forward, a 6'9" junior from Abbotsford, British Columbia, number 11, Luke Howard. And at forward, a 6'5" sophomore from North Vancouver, British Columbia, number 13, Matisse Milas. Your coaches, our assistants, New Abdi and Ziad Guled, and your head coach in his 9th season is Mr. Steve Hansen.
All right, we got our starting lineups all set here. Alaska taking on Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser looking to pay back that 2-point loss that the Nanoks handed them January 4th there in Burnaby, British Columbia. Boy, oh boy, do the Simon Fraser Red Leafs come with some size. Nobody on the roster under 6 feet tall. You've got a 6'9", a 6'11", a 7-footer. And the Red Leafs control the opening tip. Simon Fraser in the red jerseys, Alaska in the home whites. Chris Lee, Paul Johnson, Isaiah Sams-Hoy, Jaleo Keith, and Elion Zevenbergen with the start for Alaska. And Simon Fraser scores on their opening possession. Luke Howard picking up the first points in the contest. Jaleo Keith going to work through the screen. Isaiah Sams-Hoy put up a 3, and that one long. And boy, some contact inside and a walk in the backcourt on Lens DuPont. Full roster of Canadian players here for Simon Fraser. One player, Nicolo Barak, out of Sydney, Australia. Everybody else from British Columbia, Ontario, and Quebec. Jaleo Keith for 3. That one just off the mark, and quickly back comes Simon Fraser. Chris Lee, a nice job on the defense. 3 ball is good. Luke Howard, all 5 through him. Zevenbergen looks to go to work. Still has it, got to get out of the key, gets the ball out of there. Paul Johnson for 3, and that one no good. Rebound brought down by Tate Christensen, 6'4" sophomore. Lens DuPont. Chris Lee just puts his hands up. Almost comes up with the steal, and DuPont on the double team gets his own miss. And Isaiah Sams-Hoy will chase that one down. Quickly back comes Alaska and Chris Lee. Able to hang on to that one. Head coach Ostanek, you could hear him call out, take the ball in, and they do. Chris Lee scores, and he'll go to the free throw line. Chris Lee, the 6'1 junior out of Ketchikan, Alaska. Boy, the Nanooks with the big win down in Anchorage before their road trip. Coming back from down 19 to beat the Seawolves at the Alaska Airlines Center. And Chris Lee gets the old-fashioned three-point play. But then the Nanooks hit the road and go 0-2 on their last road trip. And again, 5-4 in the GNAC, taking on Simon Fraser, looking to improve on their 2-7 conference mark. Into the paint and scoring is Irish Kokia. Ball last touched by the Red Leafs. Chris Lee will survey the floor. Chris Lee averaging just under 16 points per game. Sixth in the GNAC in scoring. Oh, Jaleo Keith unable to finish close range. Zevenbergen gets it. Puts it back up, still fighting for it, and he scores. Boy, with a player down on the ground, boy, that's when it starts getting dangerous in there with the bigs. But Elion Zevenbergen prevails, makes it a 2-point SFU lead. Man, this is going to be, count the basket. And boy, head coach Ostanek not happy with that one. Still arguing his case. He's got to be careful this early and not happy at all, but count the basket. And going to the free throw line for the and one is Luke Howard. Makes it a 4-point Red Leaf lead. Just underway in our first half. Both teams now with one team foul apiece. And count it. Man-to-man defense here early by Simon Fraser. Paul Johnson down low. Chris Lee is on the sideline. Gets some space, no good. Zevenbergen fighting for the rebound. Last touched by Alaska. Nanooks out on the road. Losing to Montana State Billings, 83-70, and then a 56-54 loss. Three-pointer is good for Kokea. He has got 5. 13-5. 3.5 gone. Isaiah Sams-Hoy now inside. Biggs battle it out. Zevenbergen will not be denied on that one. Makes it a 6-point lead. And great job in the tie-up there by Jaleo Keith. And possession arrow will favor the home squad. 6-point Red Leafs lead. Chris Lee will handle the point. He is picked up by Tariq Brown. His first time into the game. Chris Lee. Good movement here away from the ball. And wow. Isaiah Sams-Hoy puts up a 3 and contact before that. And he goes in for the steal. But Kokea will hang on to it and set up the play here. And the point guard position goes right side. Hands it off to Brown. Brown to the big man and Luke Howard, 6'9 junior. Boy, having to track that one down is Tariq Brown. And I believe we'll have a Shot clock violation. Official's going to talk it over. And the teams will go to their benches. I believe we'll get a media timeout, and maybe the officials will come over and review it. So we'll see if this is officially going to be a media timeout or a review as they go over to the review. So it'll be a media timeout. We'll take a break as well with the Red Leafs leading by 6.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
All right, we are back here. Media timeout. They're still reviewing. I don't know if they're just checking to see if that was a shot clock violation because they've got 2 seconds on the shot clock right now. We'll come talk about it at center court. And I believe Simon Fraser will get it with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Good to see Alaska's news source. Sports Guy is here in attendance, and Jordan Rodenberger used to work here in Fairbanks doing sports, now down in Anchorage, but now that they have moved all the newscasts down to Anchorage, Alaska's news source, they're covering Fairbanks sports, so you've got a lot for them to cover with Natick basketball tonight, and then Governor's Cup hockey coming up Friday and Saturday, and then the Yukon Quest starts on Saturday here in downtown Fairbanks. Oh, nice feed inside off the inbounds play, but underneath the backboard. And that will be the shot clock violation. Boy, they drew that up one nice, but they needed to get rid of it a little bit quicker. As Matisse Van Bylant unable to get the shot clock, or the shot up before the shot clock expires. In for Alaska, Griffin Effenberger. Gives it up to Zevenbergen. Oh, boy, not a good pass inside by Griffin. Simon Fraser. Boy, Elion pulls that rebound down with authority. Jaleo Keith, far side, Isaiah Sams Hoy. O'Keefe for 3. Simon Fraser, they'll just pick that one up as the Nanooks retreat back on defense. Kathan Sadu gets ready to check in, and a long 2 for Irish Kokia. He has got 7. Jaleo Keith looking inside. Paul Johnson cutting, will keep moving. Griffin Effenberger out to Elion Zevenbergen. And that's a 3. 7 points for the 6'8" junior. He's shown that before. He is not afraid to shoot from outside. Boy, battle inside. And getting the most of it is Luke Howard. Howard now with 10 already. Isaiah Sams Hoy pulls up the jump shot, draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. Isaiah Sams Hoy sits in the top 10 in points per game, posting the 7th highest mark in the GNAC, 15.6 per game. Also ranking 7th in conference play in blocks. Just over 1 per game. 8th in assists per game with 3.5. And he will go to the free throw line. Second team foul on Simon Fraser. First one on Van Bylant. First one no good, and now Kathan Sadu will check in. Second one coming up. And that one good. for Isaiah Sams Hoy. Makes it a 6-point Red Leaf lead. Chris Lee getting ready to check back in. Zach Stone, 7-foot junior, number 44 out there now for Simon Fraser. And a held ball as they tie it up on him. Possession arrow will go Simon Fraser way. Chris Lee back in, and Paul Johnson will head over to the water cooler. Christensen into the hands of Brown. Kokia with it. 3 ball. No good. Isaiah Sams Hoy comes in there, unable to hang on to it as he challenges the 7-footer. That one off the front of the iron there. Really hit the shot clock. Another rebound here. Then Luke Howard pulls it down. Kokia works through the Brown screen. Jumper fouled. 2 coming up for Irish Kokia out of Vancouver, British Columbia. First one on Griffin Effenberger. 6'5" senior. Spokane, Washington. And I know he's got a following down there in Sitka. First one no good for Kokia. Jaleo Keith back in. And Effenberger will head over to the bench. Franco Stanek, his first season back at the helm for the Alaska Nanooks. Steve Hansen in his 9th season, a 2013 grad from Simon Fraser. Jaleo Keith no good, and wow, great job by Kokia to not go out. Comes flying in for that rebound, and Paul Johnson, boy, he didn't even have a chance to sit down over there, and he's back to the scorer's table. 3 ball no good. Zevenbergen pulls down another board. Isaiah Sams Hoy. Sadu back to Sams Hoy. Looking to go to work. Sadu, 3-pointer from the sideline. No good. Stone with a rebound. The quick outlet pass up to Brown. Now into the hands of Van Bylent. Kokia will slow it down and set up the play. Nanooks will stay man-to-man. Getting inside, working well through that screen. Scoring Matisse Van Bylent, his first basket. Makes it an 8-point Simon Fraser lead. Chris Lee. Isaiah Sams Hoy step back for 3. Jaleo Keith gets tied up, and it's going to be on the floor, and that'll go on Tariq Brown. And we'll get a media timeout coming up here as they'll head over to their sideline. So we'll take a break as well with Simon Fraser leading the Alaska Nanooks 19-11.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
All right, we're back here. Media timeout on the floor. Simon Fraser leading here by 8. Elion Zevenbergen with 7 points to lead Alaska. Luke Howard with 9 to lead the Red Leafs. Nanooks will play on Saturday afternoon at 2:15. They'll be taking on Western Washington. It's going to be your Wear Pink Night. Breast Cancer Detection Center of Alaska going to be here, so if you can come on out Saturday afternoon with the ladies playing at noon, and then the men at 2:15. Then we've got Gov Cup hockey at the Carlson Center, and that all starts tomorrow night, and it's official. The Seawolves leading 2-1 after picking up a shootout win in game number 3 down in Anchorage. So the next 3, dragging her pivot foot, and we'll get a travel on Jalea O'Keefe. So it's going to be an exciting weekend, definitely at the Carlson Center for all Nanook athletics. As head coach Ostanek does the splits to make sure that one goes out of bounds. It goes through the 5-hole on him. It'll be Nanook ball, and I'm going to put him right over there on the corner on the sideline. Going to just challenge Chris Lee on the ball handling. It's Christensen. Isaiah Sams Hoy getting ready to come right back in. Chris Lee. Boy, I don't think Zevenbergen was ready for that one. Paul Johnson. Great ball movement out on top here for Alaska as we hit 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sadu looking inside, nothing there. Finds Paul Johnson with 3 seconds on the shot clock, no good. And here comes their Red Leaves into the hands of Tate Christensen. Jovan Rye, his first time into the game for Simon Fraser, now running the point. Going left-handed, Toby Aza Okafor. His first time also into the game out of the media timeout. Chris Lee for 3. Off the mark, Paul Johnson in the right spot at the right time. Gets all the defenders up, and he draws the foul. Boy, in the land of bigs, and Paul Johnson recognizes and just goes up and gets the foul, and he'll get a chance to get those 2 at the free throw line. Tariq Brown picks up his first personal, 3rd team foul on the Red Leafs, 2 on Alaska's. Isaiah Sams Hoy will wait over there on the sideline. Lenz DuPont looking to check back in for Simon Fraser. Paul Johnson hits the first one. Jalea O'Keefe head over to the bench. Tobin Karlberg in his first season as the assistant coach for Alaska. And Paul Johnson goes 100%, 2 for 2. Makes it a 6-point Simon Fraser lead. DuPont works it down low to the big man. 7-footer Zach Stone challenges, and boy gets in and scores. Zevenbergen doing all he can. And boy, you just watch them away from the ball and watch the battle going inside. Stone with hands all over. Zevenbergen gives a little push back. Chris Lee calls for the screen, goes the other way, and high up off the window, no good. And Chris Lee into his lap, but he was out of bounds. Luke Howard will come back in. 10 points so far for Luke Howard. 6'9" junior out of Abbotsford, British Columbia. Boy, they lob it in, and Zevenbergen's going to get called for the hold. Boy, those guys are just tying each other up down low. And that's 2 now on Elion Zevenbergen, so he's going to go out. And Sadu now, 6'7" senior, will challenge the big man, and almost had. Now he gets it. Paul Johnson up ahead of everybody. Lays it up and in. Paul Johnson now with 4. Lead back to 6. Nice crowd here on a Thursday evening. Boy, Chris Lee doing a great job, and Brown with the rebound gets everybody flying past him. Oh, and boy, Zach Stone. Sadu takes an elbow to the face. This is Rye with it. Boy, head coach Ostanek does not like that call. Sadu picks up his fourth team foul on Alaska. Lenz DuPont, 6'4" junior out of Montreal, Quebec, will go to the line to shoot 2. First one up and good for DuPont. Boy, it's funny in the airport and even on the plane last night coming from Seattle with these guys. Everybody asking them, and they had their Simon Fraser warm-ups on and everything. And I think you could recognize pretty easily it was the basketball team with all the height coming in the plane. But everybody asking where they were going, and they were like, we're going to go play Alaska Fairbanks first, and then Saturday we'll be down in Anchorage. Western Washington playing the Seawolves tonight, and they'll be here Saturday afternoon. Mingo, his first time into the game, puts up a long shot, no good. Sadu challenging, and that one's going to go off Jaleo Keith. Boy, that ball, people having a tough time grabbing it. And here we got another media timeout, and that'll stop the clock with 8 minutes to go in our first half, 23-15. Simon Fraser on top. We'll take a quick break.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, welcome back. 8 minutes exactly to go. First half, 23-15. Simon Fraser on top. Tonight's staff and faculty appreciation game. They've been doing a lot of faculty shout-outs for all the players choosing one of their professors. Then Saturday, we got our pink rally and referee appreciation. And, you know, that's an occupation and men and women that just do not get enough credit. And people love to yell at them, but those are your referees. And we always need more referees and officials in every sport possible. So when I was coaching basketball, I used to always have an extra striped vest in my bag. If I had some parents yelling a little bit, I'd always pull that out with a whistle and be like, hey, we could always use you out there on the floor. Back out of the media timeout, Simon Fraser with it. Stone goes to work. Too strong off the window. Jaleo Keith rips down that rebound. Quickly up, Paul Johnson. O'Keefe. Chris Lee, man-to-man defense now. Chris Lee, nice left-handed swing pass inside. Sadu draws the foul, and that's going to be the 5th team foul here on Simon Fraser. First one on Lenz DuPont. Sams Hoy gets his defender up in the air, puts up a shot. Jaleo Keith gets tied up and just trying to clear his hand out of there. And DuPont hits the deck. And O'Keefe will pick up his first personal, and that's 5 on the Nanooks. Both teams now with 5 team fouls. A lot of times you'll see a lot of basketball teams here in attendance, but over at West Valley, Big tournament going on with the Denali State Bank Ice Jam. And here's a steal for Alaska. Isaiah Sams-Hoy goes all the way and goes left-handed and scores. 3 points for him. And 6-point Red Leaf lead. Double team on the ball. Into the hands of Kokia. Behind the back pass. And scoring, Lenz DuPont. Man, Kokia with a nice little behind the back pass. Paul Johnson thought about a three. Drives inside. Boy, he's triple teamed and finds O'Keefe. He waits and the defenders bite and he scores. Jalea O'Keefe, his first basket. Keeps it a 6-point game. Here's Howard and Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Picks off that pass, gives it up. Chris Lee, and wow, watch out. No call. Back out on top. Elion Zevenbergen will head over to the table. Paul Johnson, no good. Rebound. Sadu. Isaiah Sams-Hoy back with it. Chris Lee going to work through the Sadu screen, puts up a three. No good. Man, these guys are just colliding on the rebounds in the air. Kokia. Back to Kokia. Effenberger and Zevenbergen. Both ready to come back in. No good on the three attempt for Luke Howard. Sams-Hoy, he is hooked in a foul. Tate Christensen now will come in. First one on Toby as a Okafor. 16 fouls on Simon Fraser, so next one will put Alaska in the bonus. Chris Lee will handle the inbounds duties on the baseline. Jalea O'Keefe going to lob it inside. Zevenberger, first attempt no good, second attempt no good, and he draws a foul, and he'll go to the line. Boy, working hard inside is Elion Zevenbergen, rewarded with a trip to the stripe. And that's number 2 on Irish Kokia. And now Alaska will be shooting the bonus the rest of the way. These are 2 free throws coming up off the shot there. Boy, that one almost comes off the top of the backboard, but no good. 5 team fouls on Alaska. Second one. Same result, but last touch by Simon Fraser, so Alaska will get it back. And 20 on the shot clock for the Nanooks. Paul Johnson on the baseline to bring it in. Lobs it up, Chris Lee back to Johnson. Good for 3. Great play, man, perfectly drawn up right there. The Nanooks within 3. Kokia puts it up and scores. Man, that kid is just calm and confident out there. Back to Chris Lee. Paul Johnson, same spot, same result. Paul Johnson back-to-back threes for Alaska. He's got 10 now. 2-point Simon Fraser lead. Kokia looks to answer, and Jalea O'Keefe. Great job with him on the block out on Van Bylant. Paul Johnson, boy, they see, get on him. He's got a hot hand right now. Inside. But boy, look at Howard use his body on the defense, and that one in and out. But Chris Lee comes up with the board. New shot clock. O'Keefe. Griffin Effenberger back to Chris Lee. Isaiah Sams-Hoy gets ready to check back in for Alaska. Oh, perfect feed inside. Chris Lee with the assist. Elion Zevenbergen with the basket. Ties it at 27, 3:30 to go. First half. Nanook bench with the defensive chant here. Boy, Nanook's defense is swarming right now. Good switch with Effenbergen. And it doesn't go, but we'll go to the free throw line for two. Griffin Effenbergen will pick up foul number 2. And we got another media timeout coming up. We're tied at 27.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
All right, we're back here. 3:12 to go. Tied at 27. Nanooks are in the bonus. 17 fouls on Simon Fraser. 6 on the Nanooks. 2 personals on Griffin Effenberger. 2 on Elion Zevenbergen. And for Simon Fraser, Irish Kokia with 2 personals on him. 9 points for Kokia, 10 for Luke Howard. 9 for Elion Zevenbergen, 10 for Paul Johnson with those back-to-back threes to give the Nanooks a spark there. Tomorrow night, Game 4 of the Governor's Cup Series between UAF and UAA, Nanooks and Seawolves. Seawolves leading the series 2-1. The first 3 games were down in Anchorage, and the final 3 will be here in Fairbanks. You got Friday, Saturday this weekend, and then they wrap everything up Saturday, February 8th at the Carlson Center with the Gov Cup on the line. Got Parents Weekend this weekend. Alaska Airlines going to be giving away 2 round-trip tickets anywhere they fly. So a pair going out on Friday night and a pair going out on Saturday night. Out of the media timeout, we'll go to the free throw line. Shooting 2. Short on the first is Van Bylent. Oh, no, that one went. Man, the second one goes. I looked away at it. It didn't look like it went in. So 2-point lead here as we get down to the 3-minute mark here in the first half. Chris Lee. Paul Johnson kicks it out. Isaiah Samsoy. Great ball movement by Alaska, and Jaleo Keith switches hand in the air. He goes with a left-handed jumper. Comes up short. And Kokia quickly back to Kokia. Zach Stone works it inside, and Chris Lee wrapping it up. Now they finally get the whistle. Tobin Carlberg, you can see him up and over there. Oh, but a timeout quickly taken by Simon Fraser. So are they going to have possession of it? So Simon Fraser was able to call the timeout. So it looked like Zach Stone calls the timeout. We'll just keep it right here. So it's a 30-second timeout, and Simon Fraser will have it when they come back out of their timeout. Alaska with 4 left and 3 now for Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser dropping their one contest last week to Western Washington, 79-77. Their 2 wins in the GNAC against Montana State Billings and St. Martin's, but a lot of close games for Simon Fraser. And again, looking to avenge that 2-point loss that the Nanooks gave them at home. And we'll get a horn here from the scorer's table. They were just checking the shot clock, and we're all good there. So Simon, wait a minute, now it's a, so that first free throw did not go, so it's 28. They took one off here, so it's 28-27. I thought that first free throw did not go. Wow, Chris Lee having all he can on that defense and gets it back, but Kokia. Boy, not afraid. Nice! Nanook's inside. Jaleo Keith scores. He's got 4. Nanook's now with the lead. So, yeah, they did have him down for the 2 free throws, but only one of those counted. So, Alaska now. Kokia. No good. I looked down. His foot was inside that 3-point line. The official signaled like it was a 3. And, boy, Isaiah Sams Hoy just hounded. And unable to finish. Chris Lee disrupts that one and gets the pass off in the air, and Isaiah Sams Hoy wisely just lays it up and in. Nanook's now up by 3. 90 seconds to go, first half. Boy, Isaiah Sams Hoy, a good job of just not getting those eyes, and Sadu, the foul on the floor, and that's 7 on Alaska. We'll go to the line to shoot the bonus. Zach Stone, his first time to the free throw line. Second one on Sadu. First one no good. Of the bonus, Jaleo Keith. Well, I think we had a timeout call here. Everybody coming out to high five Jaleo Keith. It's a 30-second timeout. Boy, I think they thought he was going to slide out, and they took that timeout and then realized, well, we might as well take it anyway. So a great hustle here by Jaleo Keith. Timeout Alaska with 1:12 to go here in the first half. An exciting first half. Simon Fraser shooting 42% from the floor, 20% behind the three-point line, hitting 2 out of 10, and they're 4 for 8 at the free throw line. For Alaska, 31.6%, hitting 12 out of 38 from the floor, 3 out of 16 behind the three-point line, and 5 out of 7 for 57%. That's a strike. Under a minute to go. Paul Johnson for 3 from the other side. It doesn't matter what side. That's 3 threes in the first half for Paul Johnson. Puts Alaska up by 6. 40 seconds to go. First half. They're going to work it inside to Howard. Gets underneath the basket, still puts up a shot, and Jaleo Keith got a piece of that one, and Isaiah Sams Hoy up ahead of everybody, too strong off the window. Chris Lee rips down the rebound, and he is fouled. Well, let's see. I believe it's going to go on Alaska, possibly. Yeah, they're going to walk it back down, and so now shooting the bonus, and the foul's on Chris Lee, and that's his first. Working on his debate skills now with the official, but I believe the call's going to stay. So shooting the 1-and-1. Maybe Simon Fraser. And the first one is good. Second one coming up. And that one. No good for Rye. Rye goes 1 for 2. Shot clock off. We're down to 15 seconds to go. Chris Lee looking for something. Boy, if they can get it to Paul Johnson in a spot he likes. We're down to 5 seconds. Down to 3. Chris Lee with 2. So count, and it goes! Chris Lee hits it at the buzzer. Puts Alaska up 7 going into the locker room. So Chris Lee gets it off just in time and snaps the bottom of the twine to send Alaska into the locker room with a 7-point lead. We'll take a quick timeout as well. 36-29 Alaska at half.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, welcome back here to the Patty Center halftime here with the Nanooks leading by 7. Hot shooting there in that first half. Paul Johnson hitting 3 threes. Paul Johnson, your leading scorer for Alaska with 13. Elion Zevenbergen with 9 for the Nanooks. You got 5 for Isaiah Sams-Hoy and Chris Lee with 5 for Alaska. Hitting 14 out of 41 attempts there from the floor for 34%. They're 4 out of 17 behind the three-point line. 23.5%, and they're 4 for 7 at the free throw line for 57%. For Simon Fraser, Luke Howard with 10 points. Irish Kokio with 9. And Simon Fraser here, 11 out of 27 from the floor. That's 40%. Just 2 out of 10 behind the three-point line for 20%, and 5 out of 10 for 50% at the free throw line. Alaska leading 22-20 in the rebounding department there. So a good first half. Alaska trailed, though, quite a bit of that first half, and then the Nanooks with that hot hand of Paul Johnson with back-to-back threes right in front of the Simon Fraser bench, and then hits his third three from the other sideline to give Alaska that spark. And then Chris Lee hitting a 2 right at the buzzer to end the first half. Puts Alaska up here by 7 on Faculty Appreciation Night. These Nanook men will be back in action here 2:15 Saturday afternoon. The ladies will play first at noon. So you got a Nanook doubleheader on Saturday with basketball. You got Rifle in town, and you've also got Governor's Cup hockey as well, as the Seawolves come to Fairbanks for the final 3 games of the Governor's Cup Series, which the Nanooks have dominated. They have won the last 13 and want to make it 14 in a row here for Gov Cup time. But the Seawolves right now with a 2-1 lead, and they got that second one. Took them to a shootout down in Anchorage in game number 3. So Alaska needing these 2 at home for this weekend, and then they wrap everything up next Saturday night, February 8th, and it'll be senior send-off night as well. So if Alaska can win these 2, and they could go up 3-2 with a chance to clinch the cup. But definitely 2 big games here coming up for your Alaska Nanook hockey team, which has spent the majority of their season out on the road, and a lot of those trips to the East Coast. So a lot of airline miles logged by your Nanook hockey team. So always good to be home, and the new ice and new bleachers at the Carlson Center. So hope to see you all there. Alaska Airlines Governor's Cup Series wrapping up here in Fairbanks. Friday, Saturday night, puck drop 7:07. And then next Saturday night, 7:07 puck drop at the Carlson Center. So once again, it's a whiteout weekend. So if you're in the Fairbanks area, make sure to please come on out and enjoy some Governor's Cup hockey as the Nanooks look to defend the cup and make it 14 in a row. All right, teams now getting ready to come back out here and start this second half with Alaska leading by 7. A very entertaining first half. And once again, Alaska with the win at Simon Fraser back on January 4th, a 76-74 win in Burnaby, British Columbia at Simon Fraser's barn. Alaska will get the ball to start the second half. Once again, Paul Johnson with 13 to lead all scorers in that first half. Same starting lineups here for both squads. Paul Johnson with it now, and we are underway. 36-29, Alaska on top. Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Man-to-man defense starting things out here in the second half for SFU. Chris Lee hits the cutting Isaiah Sams-Hoy, and unable to get that one to drop. Boy, and I see Jordan Gill standing in the entryway on crutches, so not sure what happened to him and when that injury happened, but he is on crutches with his right leg up off the ground. Boy, he's pretty much your 6th man, and now he's going to be over at the trainer's table. Well, I don't know if that's something recent. I didn't happen to see him or notice that at the start. But boy, he is definitely favoring that right leg. It'll stay Simon Fraser ball with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Oh, what a tough shot, and it goes by Tate Christensen underneath the basket. With the shot clock expiring, he hits it. Brings Simon Fraser now within 5. Paul Johnson, boy, that was tough with the defender on him. Boy, battle inside, and now Elion Zevenbergen going to pick up his 3rd personal. Actually, they're going to put on Isaiah Sams-Hoy, so number 1 on him. First team foul on Alaskan. Going to the free throw line to shoot 2 is Luke Howard. Howard 1 for 1 at the line as he hit an and 1 in the first half. Two coming up. And he stays good at the line. Luke Howard, a 6'9", 225-pound junior out of Abbotsford, British Columbia. Goes 2 for 2, and now he's 3 for 3 at the stripe. So a 4-0 run to start the second half for Simon Fraser. Oh, a little strong, and it goes out. Head coach Franco Stanek. It's like looking at the baseline, like he's going to see a mark, like in tennis. Sometimes you'll see the ball hit the tape there. But turnover here, Alaska. Chance for Simon Fraser to tie possibly on this possession. DuPont. His 3 attempt, no good. Zevenbergen rips down the rebound. Wait, Alaska. Oh, no. And that is going to be an over and back, and you can see Steve Hansen waiting for the call, and it comes a little bit late as Jaleo Keith slowly gets up off the floor. And they will advance it down here to Simon Fraser's end right by the bench. 18:07 to go, regulation time. Kokia, boy, working through all sorts of screens. Out on top, DuPont looking to go to work. Chris Lee blocks his progress. They kick it out for 3, and they hit it, and we're tied. Van Bylent, 6 points now, makes it a 36-all ball game. And a foul on the floor is going to go on Simon Fraser. Lenz DuPont picks up his 2nd. First team foul on the Red Leafs, 1 on Alaska here in the second half. Red Leafs going to stay man-to-man. Boy, good job by Jaleo Keith. He tries to lob it in. Paul Johnson gets the defender to bite, and he hits! Paul Johnson with 4 threes in the game, puts Alaska back up 3. Nanook's first basket, a big one. Comes with 17:23 to go. Chris Lee on the challenge, and it rolls off the rim, and Lee pulls down the board. Paul Johnson has it knocked out of his hands. It'll stay Alaska ball. Last touch by Matisse Van Bylent. Paul Johnson, another 3. Well off the mark. And fast break opportunity. And here they come and slamming it home. Matisse Van Bylent. 5 points in a row for him on that flush. Alaska lead cut to 1. Chris Lee. Isaiah Sams-Hoy drives baseline. He's challenged. He's fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line. And, ooh, hanging on to midsection is Van Bylent. Boy, I don't know if he got a knee from Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Unintentional as Isaiah Sams-Hoy was going up for it. So Matisse Van Bylent, oh boy, unable to get up on his own power right now. So he's going to take a breather here, and the Nanook training staff will attend to him as the teams will head over to their benches. So probably just trying to catch his breath. So we'll take a quick timeout as well.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, we're back. Not sure if that's going to turn into a media timeout as the officials are going to come talk things over, but able to get up here is Matisse Van Bylent. Took a shot right there to the midsection, but able to finally get back up here. So both teams will stay at their respective benches, and they're going to look things over here as we got the YMCA going on here at the Patty Center. And they're still going to hold them over there. Not sure if the review is looking at time or if they're looking to see if there was a foul on that one. That was a quick look, so let's see what the call will be here. Nanook's heading back out onto the floor. And we got a baby on the floor. And quickly off. They love to escape and go out there on the floor. Well, I don't know if they're going to put the foul on Van Bylent because they got him on the scoreboard for his second. So it'll be Alaska ball. And we'll go to the free throw line. So foul on Matisse. So Isaiah Sams-Hoy will be shooting 2 as he was fouled, but Van Bylent able to get up on his own. And the first one, no good for Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Now 1 out of 3 at the free throw line, and Van Bylent stays in. Second one, good. 6 points for the 6'4" junior. 2-point Nanook lead. Boy, I have a feeling this one will go down to the wire, and Simon Fraser turns it over. Van Bylent, I don't know if he took his eye off the ball there, and see if the Nanooks can capitalize on that turnover. Paul Johnson. Sadhu hands it back over to Chris Lee. Paul Johnson draws a double team. Jaleo Keith gets his own miss, puts it up, no good. Isaiah Sams-Hoy hustles after it, but unable to get to it. Nice hustle by Isaiah Sams-Hoy, but just unable to track that one down. Head coach Ostanek and assistant coach Tobin Karlberg talking over things there on the sideline. Kokia yet to score here in the second half. He had 9 in the first. Going to put up a 3, and he hits it. Isaiah Sams-Hoy all over him, but Kokia puts Simon Fraser back up by 1. Christensen all over Sams-Hoy. Chris Lee. Paul Johnson from the top, in and out. Lenz DuPont almost knocking it out of bounds and saves it back in. They'll let him run the point for a little bit. We approach the 15-minute mark to go. Howard. Down on the sideline, Van Bylent. O'Keefe all over him. Boy, contact. No call. Chris Lee comes out of the pack with it. Paul Johnson, everybody on their feet. Sams Hoy with the rebound. He fouls on the rebound attempt. It's on the floor. And immediate timeout after the foul call. So we'll take a break. 1 point, Simon Fraser lead.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
All right, we're back here with 14:39 to go. Man, back and forth. Lead changes happening here. Simon Fraser now back up by 1. Simon Fraser with 2 team fouls. Alaska with 2 as well. Nobody for the Nanics in any kind of foul trouble. You got Effenberger, Isaiah Sams Hoy, and Elion Zevenbergen with 2 fouls apiece. And 2 for Kokia, DuPont, and Van Bylent for Simon Fraser. Just what you would expect as Alaska pulled out a 2-point win back January 4th down at Simon Fraser. So Simon Fraser would love to repay that loss here and hand one to Alaska. Get Alaska 5-4 in the GNAC, and they're in 4th place. There's a 3-way tie for first place right now, all at 7-2 with Northwest Nazarene, St. Martin's, and Central Washington. And we're back underway. Kokia hangs on to it. Christensen. And they lose it as they try to feed it into Zach Stone. And Alaska looks to regain the lead. And alley-oop up. Head coach Ostanek did not like that one, but it was a nice look. Just a little bit strong on the alley-oop. Big man for 3. Come on. 7-footer hitting threes. Yeah. You know, there's probably some 7-foot point guards nowadays. Paul Johnson, oh boy, I thought he was going to fire that one up. Instead, he goes into the paint, pulls it up. Zevenberg in the follow. No good, and now. Oh, and Sadu going for the rebound, knocks it out of bounds as DuPont unable to finish, and then he hits the deck. DuPont will head out. Luke Howard will head out as well. Toby, he's Okafor, 6'5" freshman back in. Oh, good job by Paul Johnson to let that one go as he was jumping out for it. Zach Stone, not good on that 3 this time. As he hits his chest, he's like, that's on me. Hey, he's feeling it. He's been watching Paul Johnson do it, so he thought, why not? 13:30 to go. 4-point lead now for Simon Fraser. Griffin Effenberger back in for Alaska. Oh, wow, and Zevenbergen. Boy, a close range shot. Wow. Really trying to get that call. Kokia, you could hear him up here. Good job by Effenberger. Not biting on the fake. 4 on the shot clock. 2. That one no good. Chris Lee. Boy, he's got Effenberger over here on the near side. Alaska will set up the offense. Sadu swings it in. Effenberger goes to work and scores. Elion Zevenbergen. He's got 11 now and brings Alaska back within 2. Tariq Brown over to the table. Nope, now they're going to switch their subs for Simon Fraser. Well, no, they're going to keep them both over there. Jaleo Keith will be coming in Alaska. Oh, Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Going to kick that one off his heel as Alaska takes it away but gives it right back to Simon Fraser. O'Keefe back in, Sadu back out. 12:06 to go in regulation time. 2-point Red Leafs lead. Boy, fans definitely getting their money's worth on this Thursday night. Wow, strong inside is DuPont. He's got 6, 4-point. Simon Fraser lead. Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Oh, he's going to get a walk. Boy, he goes up for the 3 and comes back down. I'm not sure why he didn't release it, or maybe he thought the defense was going to collapse on him, but that'll bring up immediate timeout. We'll take a break as well with the Red Leafs up by 4.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
Here, hold on. I might have a Sharpie. All right, we're live. We're going to start making some signs to see if we can get a pizza delivery up here with the Pizza Hut delivery of the game coming up here. Good one, though, right now. Simon Fraser leading by 4. Paul Johnson with 16 for Alaska. Leon Zevenberger with 11 for the Nanooks. Luke Howard with 12 for Simon Fraser. 12 for Irish Kokia as well for the Red Leafs. 11:47 to go. Both teams with 2 team fouls and 3 timeouts apiece. Again, nobody in any foul trouble. All right, we're back underway. That'll be at the 5-minute media. We're hungry in the booth. Double headers. Ooh, nice try from the left side by Stone. Comes up short. Chris Lee works it inside and drawing the foul, and another trip to the free throw line is Elion Zevenbergen. It was 0 for 2 in that first half. Official down there talking to the players, having a good laugh. That's number 3 on Bylant. First one no good. And he gets that one now, 1 for 4. Makes it a 3-point Red Leaf lead. DuPont. Chris Lee challenges him. DuPont hangs on to it. Oh, and Zevenbergen says no. Swats that one out of here, not in my house. Lee finds some help in Effenberger. Jaleo Keith tied up, and that possession arrow will go Simon Fraser's way. Lead will stay at 3. Paul Johnson back in for Alaska. Isaiah Sams-Hoy, boy, he is all over Kokia, denying the ball. 10:40 and counting. Elion reads that one and gets a hand on it. Takeaway, Nanooks O'Keefe for three. No. DuPont with the rebound. Hands it off. Kokia. Howard tries to work his way in. Stays with it. Gets up and under. And scores. Luke Howard now with 14. Simon Fraser builds a 5-point lead. O'Keefe up off the glass and good. 6 points for O'Keefe. 3-point game in favor of the Red Leafs. Kathan Sadu awaits the next whistle to check in. Three ball, no good. Zevenbergen with the board. 9:20 remaining. Chris Lee. Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Looking, swings it out. Back out on top. Chris Lee, 7 on the shot clock. 6. Draws a double team. Isaiah Sams-Hoy with the shot clock expiring. Nanoks with the rebound. Paul Johnson for 3. No. And last touch by Simon Fraser. That should stay Alaska ball. Sadu will give Jalea O'Keefe a breather. Tate Christensen and Tariq Brown back in for the Red Leafs. We've been here for a little bit here with this 48-45 score. Alaska will have it on their sideline with 20 on the shot clock. Chris Lee, Paul Johnson, Sadu, Sams-Hoy. Draws all the defense in, and Paul Johnson comes up with it, Boyd. Kokia, kind of an alley-oop. And Chris Lee up ahead of everybody. Hello! Chris Lee puts it down. Well, they got to get back on defense. Crowd loves that one, but play quickly back down to the other end. Woo! Kokia with 14 now. Puts Simon Fraser back up by 3. And Zevenbergen fighting inside. Taps it up. No good. Simon Fraser on a little bit of a run. Oh! Boy, Alaska somehow comes away with that one. Isaiah Sams-Hoy flips it back out. Chris Lee for 3. And taking their time now is Irish Kokia. He'll just walk it up. His teammates catch their breath for a little bit. Zach Stone ready to come back in for SFU. Griffin Effenberger for Alaska. Isaiah Sams-Hoy picks up the loose ball as Steve Hansen looking for a call in the backcourt. And let's see who's taking the timeout. I believe Alaska. Alaska will take a timeout. And we'll take a timeout as well. 3-point Simon Fraser lead.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
All right, we're back here with 6:59 to go. Second half, 3-point Simon Fraser lead. Paul Johnson with 16 to lead the Nanoks. 12 for Elion Zevenbergen. 14 for Luke Howard, and 14 for Irish Kokia. 3 team fouls on the Red Leafs, 2 on Alaska. Nanook's down to 2 timeouts, 3 still for Simon Fraser with 6:59 to go. So that timeout by Alaska, a 60-second timeout, and they will take all of that one here. Boy, a back and forth action. Boy, tons of lead changes here in this contest. Again, the Nanooks back in action. Another doubleheader on Saturday. 12 o'clock for the ladies. 2:15 for the men, and then Nanook hockey, 7:07 at the Carlson Center. Games 4 and 5 this weekend, and the final game at home of the season next Saturday, and the final Gov Cup game. See if it comes down to that. Nanooks needing to win these 2 at home this weekend as Anchorage has a 2-1 lead. Zevin Bergen with it, out to Chris Lee. 7 on the shot clock. Sadhu, they got to put it up here. And Alaska will get it right back as Kokia knocks it out, and I believe that's going to bring up a media timeout, so we'll take a break. 50-47, Simon Fraser.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
All right, we're back. 6:33 remaining here in the second half. Simon Fraser leading by 3. Excuse me. Stats are kind of froze up here, so we'll just go with the score and the timeouts and everything. 3 team fouls on Simon Fraser, 2 on Alaska. Nobody in any foul trouble. You got 3 on Matisse Van Bylent. A lot of other players with 2 personals, so nobody in really any kind of foul trouble here. Johnson, Sadhu, Effenberger, Zevin Bergen, and Chris Lee out on the floor for Alaska. New 20 on the shot clock. They'll lob it out to Effenberger. Foul on the floor on Zach Stone. That's his first. My question is, if you're a 7-footer, where do you shop for clothes? I know they got the big and tall.
Talls are us.
Talls are us. Paul Johnson thought about a 3. Now he'll drive it inside, finds Sadhu open, and he'll just drop it in. That's his first basket. Sadhu makes it a 1-point differential here. Alaska trailing by 1. Stone thought about a 3. Kokia. And he hits one. 17 for Irish Kokia. Paul Johnson. Chris Lee. Staying in there man-to-man. Foul on the floor. Kokia is going to pick up his 3rd personal, 5th team foul on Simon Fraser. Chris Lee going to get a breather. Isaiah Sams-Hoy back in for the Nanooks. Isaiah Sams-Hoy takes the handoff. Gets it back Oh, nice pass inside and scoring. Griffin Evanberger, his first basket, makes it a 2-point SFU lead. Boy, Kokia with some just working off of the stone screens, and Sadu goes for the steal but gets whistled for the personal. It's going to be number 3 on him. Third team foul in Alaska, 5 on Simon Fraser. It's on the floor, so Red Leafs will get it on their baseline. 5:07 to go, regulation time. Howard! Wow. Goes for the slam, but Sadu picks up number 4. Boy, 2 fouls on Sadu in about 3 seconds time. Luke Howard will go to the free throw line. He's 3 for 3 at the stripe. And now Alaska with 4 team fouls and 4 personals on Kathan Sadu, and Jalea O'Keefe will come in after this first free throw. Howard's first miss at the line, and Sadu will head to the bench. Second one goes. 15 for Howard. 3-point Red Leaf lead. Just under 5 minutes to go in the second half. Effenberger. Paul Johnson drives through the double team and scores. Paul Johnson with 5 in the second half, 18 in the game. Brings Alaska within 1. Kokia, boy, swings it far side. Stone thought about a 3. And we're going to get a hand check on Zevenbergen, and that's going to be number 3 on Elion. 15 foul with Alaska. Chris Lee back in. Effenberger will head back over to the bench. Kokia, boy, he just uses Stone. Oh, and somehow gets loose and scores. 19 for the 6'1 sophomore, Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Oh, was looking for Jalea O'Keefe. I think Keefe might have slowed up just a step, and that'll bring up a media timeout. 3-point Simon Fraser lead. We'll step aside. Hey.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
All right, we're back. We're back. Pizza Hut delivery of the game. They see nothing down there. We need to start throwing penalty flags out or something. We got a good one here. 3:54 to go. 3-point Simon Fraser lead. Both teams with 5 team fouls. Alaska with 2 timeouts to go. Simon Fraser with 3. Mentioned that I was on the plane last night with Simon Fraser coming up from Seattle. A very nice bunch of young men. And they were the last ones on the plane, and I don't blame them, with everybody over 6 foot going, yeah, we're not ready to sit down in tight quarters yet. But a lot of people talking to them, asking questions, and they're very friendly young men. And They said, we're coming to town, because they sat next to two of them. And they said, we are here for revenge. Wow, that kid is on fire right now. 3 threes in the second half, 4 in the game, and now 22 for him. Makes it a 6-point Simon Fraser lead with 3.5 to go. Boy, Paul Johnson just getting banged around inside. Chris Lee. Jaleo Keith hits it. Jaleo Keith hits the 3, makes it a 3-point game. 30-second timeout taken here by Alaska. So Alaska down to 1 timeout to go. We'll keep it here. 3:17 to go. So Alaska, boy, taking a quick timeout on that 3 ball made by Jaleo Keith. Keith now with 9 points in the game. Again, both teams with 5 team fouls. Simon Fraser with all 3 of their timeouts, leading by 3 with 3:17 to go in regulation time. As we approach the 2-hour mark in this one. Crowd sticking around on a Thursday night. Kokia with it. Isaiah Sams Hoy gonna, boy, man, just moving through red jerseys. Stone. Isaiah Sams Hoy, a great job of blocking out Tate Christensen so he cannot track down that loose ball. Nanox with a chance to draw within 1 or possibly tie on this possession. Chris Lee will hand it off. Paul Johnson. Chris Lee wide open on the baseline. No call, and he's going to get whistled for the reach around. Boy, that was a nice look to find him. He was just unable to finish. And gets the foul. That's his 2nd and 6 now on Alaska. Toby Iza Okafor back in. And Simon Fraser will take a timeout. It's a 30-second. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout as well.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, welcome back to the Patty Center, the Alaska Airlines Gymnasium here with DJ Elena Guck with Ursher Baby, a song that'll get people on the dance floor 50 years from now. 2:46 to go, regulation time. Nanox with 16 fouls. Their next one will put Simon Fraser into the bonus. 5 on Simon Fraser. Kokia gives it up. Luke Howard back to Kokia. Gets to the free throw line. Sends it over. Howard for 3. And he hits it. $18 for Howard. 6-point. Simon Fraser lead. Oh, boy, they read that one. As Zevenbergen rolls inside, but they intercept the feed from Chris Lee. As we get down to the 2-minute mark to go. Again, Alaska with 1 timeout, 2 for Simon Fraser. Van Bylent. Kokia with it. Boy, Chris Lee blocks that one. Boy, he may have pivoted off the pivot foot and got an extra pivot. He's working his way inside. Paul Johnson looking for some help. Finds Chris Lee. O'Keefe. Johnson See if Johnson can get heated up from outside. 7 on the shot clock. Chris Lee from the elbow, no good. Johnson. Rebound tapped over to him. Oh, 3-ball is good. Isaiah Sams Hoy makes it a 3-point game. 62 seconds and counting. Kathan Sadu awaits his chance to get in. Zach Stone waiting for Simon Fraser. Wow. And a travel. Luke Howard says he didn't come up off the ground. Officials saw it differently. Zach Stone back in for the Red Leafs. 47.2 on the clock. 3-point game. Chris Lee down to 40 seconds to go. 1 possession game. Isaiah Sams Hoy. Sadu. Jaleo Keith. And a push is going to go on Luke Howard. That's the 6th team foul. And head coach Ostanek, I believe, is going to burn his last timeout. So both teams with 6 team fouls, and the Nanoks do take their final timeout. So we'll keep it here. They haven't signaled if it's a 30 or a 60. Well, no, let's see. Simon Fraser calls it. It's a full timeout, so we'll take a quick one as well. 3-point game with the Red Leafs on top.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, getting this one set up for a fantastic finish, 62-59. Both teams with 6 team fouls. Actually, that was Alaska's final timeout. Now that I see it, they were just getting clarification from Simon Fraser's head coach, Steve Hansen. So Alaska ball. Chris Lee on their sideline, right by the bench. 9-second differential in the game and the shot clock. Someone's got to get over there to Chris Lee. He's got to get it in, and Paul Johnson gets it. Sadu. Isaiah Sams Hoy takes it inside, unable to finish. Gets it back, puts it up and in. Isaiah Sams Hoy makes it a 1-point game with 13 seconds to go and a timeout. Quickly taken here by Steve Hansen. That'll stop the clock with 13 seconds to go. Oh no, foul on Chris Lee. So we'll bring it down. That's 7 team fouls. Chris Lee picks up his 3rd. 13 seconds to go at the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. His Irish Kokia, he is 0 for 1. He had an and-1 opportunity early in the first half. He's got 22 in the game. A 1-point Simon Fraser lead. This is the 1-and-1. Play the miss. Alaska needing a rebound. Hits it. 23 now. Still a 1-possession game, and would still be a 1-possession game if he makes this one. Nanoks need the rebound off the miss with 13 seconds to go. Alaska out of timeouts. 2 for Simon Fraser. Good, and Simon Fraser will take a 30-second timeout, but we'll keep it right here. 3-point Simon Fraser lead, 12.7. Well, they move it back to 13 seconds on the clock because it went right in at the free throw line with 13. So Alaska with 13 seconds to work with, but they will get it on the far baseline. So they'll have to go coast to coast with 13 seconds to work with. And, well, now you talk it over in there, like if you can get it down quickly, go in for the 2. Now, if they put up a 3, you know head coach Hansen is saying, do not foul. They've got 16 fouls. So Jalea O'Keefe will handle the inbounds duties. Paul Johnson sets up all the way down on the far side down here on the Alaska bench side. Full court pressure by Simon Fraser. Isaiah Samson. Oh, he loses the ball. Boy, I think he took his eye off the ball for a second and was thinking about getting it down. And now Alaska will have to foul if they can't force this turnover right here on this inbounds. And Simon Fraser will take their final timeout. So we'll take a quick timeout as well.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, we're back. Theme from Rocky on right now. 11.9 to go. Simon Fraser with the ball, both teams out of timeouts. 3-point Simon Fraser lead. Alaska with 17 fouls. So if they foul, they'll go right to the free throw line. And you can see Kokia kind of setting way up down in the Alaska end, going to make people come look at him. So they're looking maybe to air out possibly into the backcourt or spread things out. Isaiah Samson gets a piece of it. Alaska comes up with it. Samson to tie, and he hits it! Isaiah Samson, but now 1 second, this will count. We're going to overtime. Isaiah Samson, boy, talk about a redemption as he lost it there. But able, look at Jordan Gill jumping, hobbling over there, banging with the crutches. And we're going to go to overtime, a 5-minute overtime. They will stay the same with the foul situation. So Isaiah Samson with 14 to tie it with a big three. Man, here we go. Oh, fans definitely getting their money's worth tonight for this one as we get ready for overtime. Let's take a quick timeout as we get ready for overtime.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, overtime. Why not? Again, the Nanooks with a 2-point win over Simon Fraser January 4th at Simon Fraser. Both teams given a timeout. 5-minute overtime. We will jump ball. And here we go. And last touched by Alaska. Simon Fraser ball. Irish Kokia with 24. Paul Johnson with 18. Kokia, boy, he draws Zevenbergen. Gets his own miss, and Isaiah Samsoy comes up with the block, but a foul away from the ball on the floor, and now they'll go to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. This will be Luke Howard, who is 4 out of 5. Jaleo Keith picks up his second, 8th team foul on Alaska. 1-and-1 coming up. And Howard hits the first end. One point, Red Leaf lead. Now 2.
We can answer back. Don't you worry. We're coming back in.
6 out of 7 at the strike for Luke Howard. Howard with 20. Oh, Isaiah Samsoy. Boy, it would have been nice if that was an and one. Instead, he'll get 2. Isaiah now is 2 for 4 at the line. Tate Christensen picks up his first, and now it's 17 fouls on the Red Leaf, so Alaska will now be shooting the bonus as well. Isaiah Samsoy hits the first one. He's got 15. Nice even scoring here for this Alaska squad. Second one, no good. And quickly back, here comes Simon Fraser. Kokia with it, he'll slow it down. He definitely makes some noise on contact. Make sure to draw some attention to that contact. And he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. That's the 9th team foul on Alaska. So the next one on the Nanooks, and it'll be double bonus time for Simon Fraser. So Paul Johnson just picking up his first personal. And wow. That one rattling around on the rim off the backboard and through. 2-point Red Leaf lead. Second one coming up.
Guys,
4 out of 5 at the line for Kokia. 3-point lead for Simon Fraser. Johnson. Isaiah Samsoy. Oh, and they throw it away. Chris Lee now going to apply some pressure. Contact, no whistle. Let them continue to play in overtime. 3:35 and counting. They work it inside. Luke Howard looks to go to work. Boy, he has just got that back down. And a foul on Simon Fraser. This is going to go on Toby. He's a Okafor, I believe. And no, it's on Luke Howard. And now Alaska will go to the free throw line to shoot the bonus. Kathan Sadu with just 2 points will now shoot the 1-and-1. 3:23 remaining overtime. 3-point Simon Fraser lead. Sadu! That one in and out. Luke Howard pulls down the rebound. 3:17. Kokia looks to go to work. Oh, boy, there's another offensive, and that's going to go on Eza Okafor. Second one on him. 9th team foul now on Simon Fraser. So both teams with 9 team fouls. 3:06 to go, overtime. 3-point SFU lead. Boy, talk about a tough conference. This GNAC conference. Doesn't matter where you are in the standings. Every night you got to bring your A game. Johnson. Defense comes out on him. Jaleo Keith gets it! Jaleo Keith ties us at 68. Kokia kicks it out for another 3, and answering is Tate Christensen. Lead right back to 3. Both teams with a timeout remaining. Chris Lee shakes the defender. Paul Johnson drives the paint and scores. Man, what a battle. 1-point game as we approach the 2-minute mark to go in overtime. Kokia. And now Howard. Again, Howard just works his way in. Isaiah Sams-Hoy picks it up. And he is fouled, and now he'll go to the line and shoot the double bonus. Chance for Alaska to tie and possibly take the lead as Zach Stone looks to come back in for Simon Fraser.
Hey, do you get your timeouts for overtime? One each? Okay, thank you.
Isaiah Sams-Hoy hits the first end of the double bonus. Ties us at 71. Zach Stone returns. 5 points in the game for the 7-footer. Isaiah Sams-Hoy hits them both and puts Alaska up by 1. Kokia, man, he just gets it down quickly. 90 seconds to go in overtime. Both teams with the 1 timeout. Van Bylent. Stone. Man, long arms over Sadu. Puts Simon Fraser back on top by 1. Chris Lee. Over to Sadu now. Isaiah Sams-Hoy in front of his bench. Shakes his defender, goes up. Looks for the call, and Chris Lee pulls it down. O'Keefe sends it out. Chris Lee just short, and man, Zach Stone gets those long arms up there, but anyway, grabbing his biceps, shaking off his right arm. 36 seconds to go in regulation. 18 on the shot clock for Simon Fraser with a 1-point lead. 8 on the shot clock. 5, 3, pull back 3. Stone with a rebound. And I believe they call Chris Lee with a foul as he was trying to tie that one up. Head coach Ostanek looking for the held ball. So now we'll go to the line to shoot the double bonus if that call stands. Head coach Ostanek, though, was looking to try to get a held ball. Not going to get it, so Zach Stone will shoot the double bonus. Chris Lee picks up his 4th personal, and head coach Ostanek will ice the shooter and take his lone timeout here in overtime with 13.4 to go. It's a 60-second timeout. We'll take a quick 30.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
All right, we're back. Now they're reviewing something here over at the scorers table. So I don't know if you can challenge that. I didn't really see anybody looking to challenge. Maybe they're checking time on the clock. But Chris Lee got in there and tied it up, and they whistled him for the foul. So Zach Stone, when the Nanoks called the timeout, was at the line to get ready to shoot the double bonus. But right now, two officials over at the table reviewing things. They kind of looked up at the clock. So they're talking to the clock operator, and I believe that is going to be good here. They're going to bring both teams back out onto the floor. Simon Fraser with a 1-point lead, so we'll go back to the free throw line with Zach Stone, his first trip to the stripe. Double bonus coming up for him. You still hit both of them. It'll just be a one-possession game. But first one is good for Stone. 2-point game. Shot clock off. Nanoks need a rebound if it's a miss, and he hits it. 3-point game. 13.6 to go. Isaiah Sams-Hoy is going to go in and lay it up and in. And Paul Johnson with a quick foul. Kokia will go down to the free throw line and shoot the double bonus. So good foul, stops the clock with 7.7. Kokia right now is 4 out of 5 at the free throw line. Nanoks out of timeouts. Kokia. Man, what a game he has put together. 27 for the 6'1 sophomore. Gets them both. 3-point game. Paul Johnson with 2 seconds. Oh! And that is going to do it there, and that does not count. And Simon Fraser gets the revenge that they wanted here at Alaska. Man, what a game. Back and forth action and going to overtime, and Simon Fraser hangs on for the win. So, man, that will move Alaska to 9-10 overall, 5-5 in the GNAC. Simon Fraser will go to 7-13 overall and 3-7 in the GNAC. Alaska Nanook men's basketball going to be back here at the Patty Center Saturday afternoon at 2:15, taking on Western Washington, and they will follow the Alaska Nanook women's basketball team. They start at noon on Saturday. You can follow along with everything. Go to AlaskaNanooks.com. We'll keep it here just for the announcement of our Player of the Game award. We'll get that one, I believe, here momentarily. But man, great game for the fans if you love going into overtime. But Simon Fraser hangs on for the 3-point win. Well, I don't know if we're going to get that Player of the Game award. So we're going to wrap things up, though. It's been a long night, so we want to get everybody home. We got our student workers here. They got to get their homework done. So we'll see you back here Saturday afternoon. I'm Ken Viemeyer for everybody here at UAF. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great night, everybody.